Regression lines are best fit lines that correlate two sample series population mutual mean bonding, meaning thereby tend to correlate one sample series population mean values relative to another sample series population. Prof. Francis Galton, being known as father of biostatistics in his Regression towards Mediocrity and Heredity Stature, 1877 publication, suggested that offsprings' heights usually do not acquire their father's heights in general, however, tend to regress towards the mean. In other words, regression towards mediocrity of the sample population, better than their respective fathers. If fathers being taller than average, their sons also achieve taller heights, however more inclined towards the sample population mean, therefore shorter relatively. Otherwise, if fathers being shorter than average, their sons tend to acquire ample heights regressing towards the mean of the sample population. Regression lines are made through the least square methodology encompassing different deviation points, variance square sum minimum best fit lines. The variance of deviated points could be projected horizontally as well as vertically. X-axis regression lines over y-axis considers different deviated horizontal square sum errors being variance minimized least squares regression lines, whereas y-axis regression lines over the x-axis recognizes different points deviated vertical square sum errors being variance minimized least squares best fit lines. X-axis regression lines on y-axis assumes y to be independent variable and x being the dependent variable. Y-axis regression lines on x-axis considers x to be independent variable, whereas y to be dependent variable. X and y positive correlation lines are upward lines tend to move from left corner towards the right upward. X and y negative correlation is being represented by downward lines. Complete correlation being denoted one single overlapped regression line. If both intersect perpendicularly, then there being no correlation. Bound or limited correlation being represented by x and y intersection acutely. The more nearer both appears, the more is the correlation. X regression on y, x or x and y bright be mind smart or no my smart emit y regression on x or y require x string. I known as unbiased or estimate of regression slope. X sad being x mean is y mean. R is correlation coefficient formula value. X equal x values standard deviations y equal to y values standard deviation.